Good morning, everybody. This is Matthew coming to you from A Love Awakening. How are you doing this Saturday morning? I'm so happy to be with you this morning. You can check out our website at aloveawakening.com. You can also check us out here on YouTube. If you like what you're hearing here with us from A Love Awakening, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell notification and you'll get notified whenever we're releasing new things, which is actually daily. So it's Saturday morning, so it's story time. And story time with a little bit of a message and a little bit of the energy forecast mixed in with it. So anyway, going back when I was in high school, I was a band geek. Yes, I played an instrument and I marched on the field and everything else like that. And we'd occasionally have practices like after school. So I had to wait on my dad, to come pick me up because I didn't have a car right then. And so there was a little small diner type restaurant called Isley's that was in the corner on the main street in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania. And that's where I would go to wait for my dad. Now, he would always give me like $5, for my lunch, or actually it was kind of like a dinner, so I could, take and, get food. And they had a hot dog special, and it was like, I think it came out to be like $4.35. It was incredibly cheap, but it was 2 hot dogs, French fries, and a drink. What kind of high schooler asks much more for? So I had gone to Isley's, and it was really busy. All the booths were filled up, and so the only place that was left to actually sit down was at the counter. And so there's like one spot left. And so I took my book bag and I took it and pushed it in front of me and got up into the counter and I ordered my hot dog special. And the lady next to me leaned over and she goes, "Well, hey, how are you?" And I said, I'm great." And she was an older lady, gray haired, and she was very, very, had a big old smile. It was just like one of those infectious smiles that, just radiate and beam and you can light up a room. And I saw her name tag. She had a little name tag on. And the name tag had Ruth Woods. And I thought it was really interesting that her name was Ruth Woods because I had a Ruth Woods that went to my church. So it just like stuck in my brain. But she was also wearing, underneath that, it said volunteer. And I said, "You're a volunteer. What are you volunteering for?" And she goes, "Oh, well, the college, which is Westminster College, always holds a missionary camp. And so I'm helping out with the missionary camp. So it's the night before all the events start. So, I wanted to come in and, get a dinner and, and get ready for tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh, that's great." And so her and I sat there and we had a conversation just, back and forth. And it was great. I mean, we just loved talking with each other. And I mean, she had a lot of wisdom and she had a lot of guidance for me. And it was really cool. And I remember the last thing that she said to me before she got up and left. She goes, "Matthew, please remember one thing." I said, "Okay, what do I need to remember?" She goes, "You are destined for great things." And I kind of looked at her and I said, "Okay." And she goes, "No, really, you're destined for great things." And I said, "Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much." Okay. Well, she got up and left and she went out the door. And so I was finished up my meal, probably about 15 minutes later. And so I get up to go and pay for my meal. And so I get up to the counter and I check in the pocket of where, I put my money and it's gone. So I'm panicking. I'm looking through all my pockets. I'm looking through my book bag. I'm looking everywhere for this $5 that my dad gave me to pay for my dinner because I have no money now. So I have no way that I'm going to be able to pay for my dinner. And so the woman at the counter saw me and she goes, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Well, I had $5 and that was going to pay for my dinner." And she goes, "Oh, don't worry about that." She goes, "The young lady that was sitting next to you paid for your dinner. And so I looked back and I was like, well, what young lady? And she goes, well, the young lady with the white top on that was sitting next to you. And I said, I wasn't sitting next to a young lady with a white top on. I was like, are you sure you have that right? And she goes, she was sitting like right there next to you. And I was like, well, the lady that I was talking to was an older lady with gray hair, and she had on a blue shirt. And she goes, no. I distinctly remember that the girl that was next to you had long, like platinum blonde hair and a white shirt. And I was like, well, did she have a name tag on? And she goes, no, she didn't have a name tag on. I said, are you sure? She goes, no, she didn't have a name tag on. So now I was really perplexed, and I was like, well, okay, so she paid for my dinner? She goes, yeah, so don't worry about it. I said, okay. Well, went outside. My dad picked me up, and I was kind of perplexed of what had happened and everything, and so I was in my brain all night about why did this happen? Why would someone say, hey, there's this one person sitting beside me when I experienced something completely and totally different. And so I decided that, well, I needed to take and find $5 because I needed to go find Ruth Woods and repay her. So she said that she was a volunteer, and she was volunteering down at the campus, the college campus. And so on Saturday morning, I got on my bike and rode into town, and went to the place where I guess everybody was registering, and asked where I could find who was in charge of the volunteers. And so they took and they showed me, like when down there, they'll be able to help you out. So I went down over the hill, went to the volunteer station, and I said, hey, listen, I'm looking for Ruth Woods. And they're like, well, what are you looking for her for? I was like, well, I need to repay her $5 because she paid for my lunch yesterday, because I think that she knew that I had lost my money or something of that nature. And they're like, okay, well, hold on a second. And so they went and they checked the roster, and they said, well, I think you're mistaken about the name. I think that you have the wrong name. And I was like, no, I distinctly remember it was Ruth Woods, because it's the same name of the woman that goes to my church, so I remember it. And they're like, we have no one on our list with a name of Ruth Woods. And I was like, so how could that possibly be? And the guy that had the clipboard kind of gave me a little smile, and he goes, well, maybe you ran into an angel that wanted to buy you your dinner. And I was like, yeah, okay, thanks. So anyway, I was kind of disheartened, that I didn't find her just to repay her back. And so at Westminster College, they have this beautiful chapel, and there's a little area in the center, and there's statues around it. And as I was walking through, I can remember it was kind of chilly. I had my coat on, it was kind of breezy. There were leaves on the ground. And I looked up, and there's a statue of an angel. And I kind of smiled, and I said, so Ruth, are you watching out for me? And all of a sudden, this big gust of wind blew from behind. And so all the leaves went flying out in front of me. And I looked down. And I see a $5 bill. And I said, maybe I just had an encounter with an angel. So, angels are real. It is possible to have interactions with angels. But sometimes we have to give up the notion that those types of things won't happen to me. Sometimes we have to give up the notion that, in order to have something we want, we have to give up a bunch. In my mind, I made $5. But I know that I am being watched over. I know that there is something greater out there in this universe, whatever you want to call it. I do believe in angels. I do believe that the encounter that I had was with a divine angelic being. How else could you explain that I was sitting next to one persona and everybody else around me was seeing something completely and totally different? And that she didn't exist. So today, be willing to look out for the miraculous. Be willing to look out for those just absolute mind-boggling actions that happen. Allow your angels, allow your guides to guide you today. They will help you manifest that life that you love. They will help you get to that place in your life that you want to be. Just take that on. Whatever you do, understand that energy works. It can't be destroyed. It can't be just created. It's always there. It always has been. It can be directed, and it can help you manifest the life that you love. So today's story time, hopefully it inspires you. If you like these story times and if you like our daily energy forecast, please hit the subscribe button below and hit the little bell. You'll get notified when we've posted something new. A Love Awakening has a lot of things that they are doing. And in this world, we want to awaken the love that you have inside of you, the love that you have for the world, the love that you can see for humanity, but mostly the love that you have for yourself. So take that on today. That's the energy of today. Look out for miracles. Look out for those supernatural things that happen. Okay? So I just want to say thank you so much again and again and again for all your comments. If you like this video, please give us a comment below. Okay? And as always, I love you. Lisa loves you. A Love Awakening loves you. So you need to love you. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.